Aquifer. This has been a year-long push now from area lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, and to recognize that, we're going to have two representatives from that part of the state, the Champaign County, Vermilion County area. We have Democratic Representative Carol Ammons joining the show, and Republican Representative Brandun Schweizer. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So I wanted to start here. Representative Ammons, we'll start with you. This bill was something actually that both of you talked about on the floor last year when regulations were passed on carbon sequestration projects. Both of you brought forward concerns about the Mahomet Aquifer at the time. Now, a year later, this bill passes. Tell me a little bit about just how we got to this point and how this bill came together and the support that it got across the board.
Yeah, thank you for having us on the show. I think the last spring when we passed the full package that we believe should have protected Mahomet Aquifer in the original bill, that was not part of the negotiation. And although we needed the protections that did pass in that package, we felt strongly that it didn't go far enough to protect the sole source drinking water for Central Illinois. This year, of course, we began working in the spring to pass a bill that would substantially protect the aquifer, which we have done, and we're pleased to do that. Hopefully the governor will sign the bill. But the reason why we came back, and I think both of us stated on the House floor during that debate, that we were not satisfied with where we landed on the protections for the Mahomet Aquifer, and that we would bring together stakeholders, all of our area legislators, to work on a compromise that would protect the aquifer substantially. I believe this bill does that, and hopefully the governor will sign the bill.
One of the most interesting parts of the whole carbon sequestration debate in public is just the group that is opposed to a lot of these projects. I always found it was interesting going to local board meetings where you would have environmentalists, you would have the farmers out in the field, you would have some businesses concerned, just regular landowners. It was a coalition of people that you wouldn't typically see all together on one single issue in this way. Representative Schweizer, what was it like for you? I know this was one of the first big issues I remember you speaking out on the floor at the time. What was it like hearing from people in the Vermilion County area about these issues?
Yeah, no, it was a lot of people contacting the office, sending emails, calling, expressing their desire to want to ensure that the Mahomet Aquifer is protected. It's not a singular focus. It's bipartisan. You have folks from both sides of the aisle, people that would normally disagree probably on a lot of things out in the community, that want to ensure that that aquifer is protected, because that is our only drinking water in the Central Illinois area, and so we rely on that. And if something were to happen that affects that drinking water, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be having to rely on either getting water shipped in or having to drink out of bottles, and that could cost a significant amount of money. So ensuring that we get that protected was the #1 focus last year and coming into this year, and I'm glad that we got it finally done.
Both of you, thank you so much for joining us today. It was good to have this interview after this long process, and I know there was a lot of different public debates happening about carbon sequestration. So thank you both so much.
Thank you.
You.